You guys thought it was over, huh? It's not over, baby. Still got juice. I still got juice in me. It cannot be over. I just got this phone, so this phone better be like, this phone better give me something, you know, because I just got it, and it's got a lot of juice. This phone's got a lot of juice, baby. So yeah, I was doing this video right now, like 3 seconds ago, where I was saying that it has to be uncomfortable, right? You have to find that uncomfortable thing. You know, otherwise forget to mundo, baby. What phone is it? I think it's the Galaxy. I think, because I'm not a phone person. I think it's the Galaxy S10. I think that's what it is. And I'm pretty sure that's the one. The other one was acting up because I kick the ish out of my phones. You know, I use them and abuse them. I do a lot of videos. I write articles on them with them. I use it a lot. I just do. And I use a lot of video. I'm ready to do podcasts, and so I know I'm going to use it even more. So yeah, it's going to be super mucho bueno. It's going to be mucho bueno using it. So yeah, guys, I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful with anyone. I get it. Not everybody wants the same thing, but you guys happen to be here listening to my spiel, so you're listening to my points of views, and not just my points of views, but my experiences. Right? These are my experiences. This is not. I would never want anyone to take this too serious. These are just my experiences. Every human being has a bag of them, or two or three, right, of experiences. And this is not gospel truth, okay? And my name's not Saint Jose. I'm not Saint Jose. This is just stuff that I've been learning, and you know, I don't know, take it or leave it, or apply it, or whatever. I don't know. I'll tell you something though. Some of the stuff is very real to me, and I almost find it as truth, right? But again, to me, right, some of the stuff that I've been sharing here with you guys it's been very real in my life. For example, this whole comfort thing, that's been very real in my life. I know that for a fact that if I had just gotten more uncomfortable, or more comfortable being uncomfortable earlier in my life, man, like, we would be having this talk with Oprah, and maybe sitting with Gary Vee or something, you know. Much earlier. It'll happen, just not, you know, it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, we would be having this conversation with one of those people that records conversations like this and shoots it out to a lot of people. I really believe that. I am 100% convinced that your ability to stay comfortable in the discomfort, just stay comfortable where you feel like shit feels wrong and difficult and you have to walk away from it. If you just stay with it, if you sit with it, day in and day out, sit with it. Sit in front of the lion, baby. It's not going to eat you. If you sit with it, you're going to find your swing. As I believe I found mine. You're going to find your swing. I don't think an artist gets good by painting. I think an artist gets great, not just good, by doing what I've been telling you guys. By sitting in the uncomfortable. By making those paintings that you, in your mind, you're like, oh my God, this is such a horrible painting. I can't believe. That's just your mind fucking with you, man. Like, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just your mind trying to get you to stop. because it's afraid of losing the little bit it knows, and it doesn't know, it doesn't understand, it cannot quantify how much you're going to gain in friendships, opportunities, income, whatever you're looking for, whatever is good for you. It can't quantify it, so it pulls you away from it because it does not understand it. Your mind, everyone's mind is very limited. They're very limited. Creativity does not come from the mind. Creativity comes from a deeper place in your soul. It doesn't come from your mind. Your mind is not very creative, actually. The mind is an organizational tool. I've said this many times. The mind is not creative. Okay? I'm going to say this again. It's not. It's an organizational tool. A very good one. It's a processing tool. But it is not creative. It does not have the ability to be creative. So it's afraid when creativity or uncertainty, because uncertainty is the same thing as creativity. When uncertainty shows up, your mind goes, "Oh no, fuck this! I gotta run the opposite direction, and you're coming with me, and I'm bringing you down with me, not because I hate you, but because I want to protect you. I don't understand this uncertainty thing that's happening," and so that's what it does. Yeah, definitely. Consistency pays off. Absolutely. Yeah. Richard, Jose has painting locked down. Totally. For me, right, this is not like someone else could see this painting and be like, "Oh my God, I don't like it." You know, there's all these things that are going wrong. But for me, it works, right? For me, it works. I mean, I'm looking at honestly, I'm looking at a fucking masterpiece here. So someone else might look at, something horrible. I'm looking at it with eyes of love, baby. I'm looking at it with eyes of love. You know, when you know those kids, right? That they're like, "Oh my God, that kid is not precious." But the mother looks at the kid with love. I was probably one of those kids. No, I was a pretty kid. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I do have an iconic style. Es mucho iconic. But yeah, guys, I mean, getting back to that little thing, that I was telling you. Let me put this painting away. Yeah, I think it was sort of like a Japanese clothing and definitely, yeah. But this is what I've learned, and I'm passing it freely here because I don't think it's a secret, although I think we treat it as a secret. But if you hear me say any of these things, you're probably saying, "Dude, I know that." Of course you know that, right? Of course you know that. It's not new information, right? It's not. Someone sent me a message the other day on Instagram. They're like, "Everything you say is basic information, right? It's common sense. I don't know why people listen to you." That's what this lady told me. And clearly, right? Not a fan. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe a fan that was just upset with me. I don't know. And I usually don't respond, but I felt lucky that day. I felt generous, and I responded. And I was like, yeah, it's true. It's not new information. And then she responds back and she says, "You're admitting to it?" I was like, you didn't catch me in anything. You didn't catch me in a lie. What do you mean am I admitting to it? Of course. It's not new information. Why would it be? Nothing is new under the sun. This earth, this words, everything we say has been spoken and said many, many times before. You know, it's not like I'm a scientist that's like rediscovering something or naming something that the world hasn't seen yet or the world wasn't aware of, right? Because that's what scientists do. Like they rediscover stuff, right? It's not like they invent stuff. Well, some of them, I think, I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is that it's not new, right? None of it is new. Like, it's not new. It's not. I'm not trying to convince you that I'm some genius that it's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. No, I'm. If anything, I feel like I'm that annoying voice that you already have 24/7 in your mind, and you probably, I don't know if you do, but you probably keep neglecting. And it's just that mine is physical, right? And you're like, wait a minute, this dude sounds like my inner voice, but he's louder, you know, and he's got an accent. Sounds cool. And he's fucking good looking too. On top of it all. And he's Mexican, so it's even cooler. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying anything new, but I know I'm not saying anything new. But it's definitely something that I need to hear. I wish someone else was saying it. And I didn't find anyone else saying it, so I started saying it. I looked online and people kind of, they talk about it, but they go into the bullshit. They start going into the like believing the myths, right? Oh, artist block. Oh, what do you do? Well, when I feel like this, I disconnect, I unplug, and they go into the bullshit. And I say don't go into what everybody has said for hundreds of years, or maybe not even hundreds of years, maybe decades, because it definitely hasn't been hundreds of years. Artists have been talking about this bullshit, right, of artist block, and dude, you just don't want to do the work. Just admit it. You know, don't lie to yourself. Like, why lie to yourself? Admit it. There's power in the truth has tremendous power. You just gotta admit it. The first step is recognition, baby. Like, stop lying to yourself. Don't tell yourself it's something it's not. You know, don't tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm just not, I'm not painting today because, and then you come up with some bullshit excuse. I know this because I've done this, and I did this for years, okay? Not 1 or 2 years, like 6, 7 years. I know this. I was a master at it. I crafted excuses so eloquently that you could barely see it. They were deadly. My excuses were deadly because you couldn't see them coming. They were like poison. It was like capoeira and ninja skills, right? It was like very subtle. You couldn't see it coming. You know, it was very subtle. It was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I get it. It's because I understand why I'm not having success in this thing. Oh, I understand why I don't feel like painting today. I get it. Oh, okay. It's an excuse, baby. Look, all you gotta say is, I don't want to. It's too hard. I don't want to. It feels like a lot. I just don't want to put in the work. And then watch what you're gonna feel after you say that. You know, just be honest. Like, I don't want to put in the work. It's got nothing to do with the way I paint. It's got nothing to do with my brush strokes. It's got nothing to do with the brushes I'm using. Anyone and anything. And you don't have to make yourself feel bad. You don't have to be like, I'm lazy. No, you don't. It's not about that. It's about recognizing. You know, I don't want to do it. I don't. Not today, baby. Not yesterday. Not the month before. I don't want to. I know it's good for me, but I don't want to. And then you're going to ask yourself a question. Why don't I want to do it? Right? Why? And then if you're serious about it, and if you've gone through it enough, you're probably going to say something along the lines of, I already feel like things are hard and difficult. This is an extra layer, right? And you're going to realize something. You're going to realize something. But only you can realize this. I can't realize it for you. You're going to realize if it's true and what to do about it, right? If you really want it. Or you're going to realize if it's false, because it could be true. There can be like, you could be working like 3-4 jobs and be like, I just can't, right? And what to do about it. Or you're going to realize that it's false and what to do about it, right? It's because confronting the truth with ourselves, I believe it's the hardest thing that we will ever do as human beings. Just being honest with ourselves, you know, pure, uncut, raw honesty with yourself. It's the greatest liberator. It's pure liberation. Nothing like it. Nothing comes even close to being true to yourself. And again, not in a negative way. So don't get me wrong, okay? Not in a I'm gonna beat myself up and in a negative way. No, just true. Just the truth, right? I got 5 kids, you know, and I'm overwhelmed. My partner is a difficult person. They drink too much, or whatever, right? Whatever, like the truth, right? The truth. The truth. Half of the time I feel tired. I can't wait to get home and just watch TV. Because I feel like at least that I can control, or that I feel good about. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no wrong answer. There shouldn't be a wrong answer because you are perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with anybody. It is just human conditioning. We, as human beings, love to be comfortable because comfort means survival. See, Diana Centaro. Sorry, guys, I wasn't reading the messages. Disculpen, no estaba leyendo los mensajes. You're a gem, Shalini. Thank you so much. Spanish, mucho español, mucho español, español mexicano, español cabrón. You're sharing your success experiences. Not many will do that. Thank you so much, Richard. I appreciate that. You are showcasing heavily curated moments. It is generally refreshing seeing you in the trench living the process. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, guys, that I wasn't reading the messages. I didn't realize. I was just like talking. I'm gonna but yeah, guys, this is. I just want to let you in my day, guys. What my day looks like. Okay, you've been here over an hour with me. Some of you, I don't know. This is my day, guys. By the way, painting for me, yes, it's easy for me, right? Because I do it every day. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It's very easy for me, but emotionally was very difficult. Sometimes when things come easy, but it didn't come easy to me. It came to a place where I practice, and then painting just became like second nature, right? But sometimes when you reach a place that you wanted to so bad, and then you don't have to fight it anymore, you might start constructing new problems, right? Where they're not. Like for example, learning how to paint was difficult first, and then it became easy, and then boom, baby, I was a badass, and I dubbed myself the world's greatest living artist. No one did that. I did it myself because I needed to do it for myself. No one was going to do it for me, and so that came easy, right? And then I was like, dude, I got to start making some money with this, right? I mean, how am I going to keep painting if I'm not selling this, right? So I got very good at it to the point where I started making hundreds of thousands of bucks every year and then some. And then I was like, dude, this shit is easy, right? And so it got super easy. And then I was like, what else? And then I started coming up with problems, new problems. My problems were not like home problems. Like it wasn't like I was fighting with my, well, you know, sometimes, but like with my friends or my spouse, or it wasn't like that. It was that, oh man, I don't know what to paint today. I feel lost, right? Or oh man, I have a really bad artist block. I don't know what to do. Oh man, you know. Imagine, I was already selling my work, doing, I mean, for me, right? For me, I'm not saying for someone else might be looking at me and saying, dude, you're making chump change. Shut up, right? But for me and my family, I was already making about $400K a year selling artwork. And I was always looking for a new problem. Always. Day in, day out. Looking for a fucking new problem. Because I needed a problem. I couldn't bear the fact, I couldn't get it, that life was good, so I generated problems. And I don't know if you guys know about that, but that creates a whole other shitstorm, right? Creates a whole other thing. You start doubting yourself and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm telling you, yes, not every artist wants to create income. I get that. Not every artist wants to exhibit. I get that. Not every artist wants to do anything with their paintings. Some people just want to create them and give them away. I've heard that a lot. Actually, the people that tell me that a lot are some of the first people that ask me about coaching at one point or another. Because everybody loves to go after the thing, right? The thing that made you fall in love with it in the first place. You go to an exhibit, you see a movie about Renoir or Monet or whatever, or Frida Kahlo, and you're like, man, like that seems like a badass existence. In a studio creating artwork all day? Hell yeah, I want some of that, right? And then at some point, we don't get it, we can't get it, and we play humble. We start going, well, I didn't really want it. It's not that you didn't want it. It's not that you didn't want it. Is that it's okay to give up on it. I wanted to be a rock star and I gave up on it. Right? I wanted to be a musician. I was like, man, I'm going to be the baddest musician ever. I was a guitarist, right? I was like, oh man, I'm going to do so well. And at some point it got really difficult, right? And I wasn't willing to pay the price. I didn't want to pay the price. And so I made excuses after excuse instead of facing the truth and saying, you know what? I'm going to give up on this. And it's okay to give up on it. Because, well, maybe I just didn't really want it that bad, and it's okay. Maybe it's not for me because I don't really want it that bad. If I wanted it that bad, I would have gone for it. You know, some people say, oh, I can't believe that some human beings go through the trouble of A, B, and C in society, right? Maybe they want it that bad. You know, maybe they want it that bad. Maybe that's why they go through the trouble of it. Maybe it's important enough to go through the trouble. I don't think anybody goes through the trouble without thinking whatever they're going through is important enough. I don't think anybody would do it. I seriously don't think so. Whatever it is. You know, whatever it is. Someone told me, I'm an immigrant, right? So this is part of what I'm referring to, or what I was thinking when I was saying that. Someone told me when I was growing up, they're like, you know what, you and your family just came here to take our jobs. That's some idiot told me that, right? I was like 12 years old. Like, who tells that to a kid, first of all? A grown person telling that to a kid, right? And I didn't know what to say, right? And I just kind of stayed quiet. I was like, well, no, I don't think that's what we were doing. But yeah, I mean, whatever, you know, I don't really think. And as I started growing up, I started seeing, right, more and more of that type of conversation. And I was like, you know what? Maybe my parents wanted it that bad. Maybe my dad wanted me to be in a different environment bad enough, you know, to leave my country. Maybe, I don't know. Who would want to go through such trouble? Willingly. You only go through the trouble because you want it that bad, right? Like people are like, oh my God, like if I don't exercise, this fucking diabetes is going to kill me. Maybe you want it that bad. Maybe you want to live that bad, right? That you go and you do things that are super extraordinary that other people might not understand because you want it that bad. You want it. It's important. It's extremely important. And so, going back to what I was talking about earlier on showing up and it's okay to recognize that, you know what, I'm not showing up. I haven't confronted the fact that maybe I don't want it that bad. It's important to confront it, guys. It's very important. I think it's liberating. It's important to confront, maybe I don't want it that bad, and it's okay. Maybe I do, and I haven't confronted it. Maybe you do want it bad, but you haven't confronted. You haven't been sincere with yourself and ask yourself, do I want this shit or not? Am I willing to maybe look like an idiot in front of others? Am I willing to work my face off? Everybody wants something different. Not everybody wants $1 million a year. Not everybody wants, recognition or be in museums. Not everybody wants that. Everybody wants something different. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of whether you want it or not. It's not there's no right or wrong answer. You didn't win or lose. When I confronted that myself, I realized, dude, there is no right or wrong answer. Just answer the question. Do you want it? Why don't you want to do it? And every time that I would go into that, I had to ask myself, like, are you afraid? What is it? What is it? Are you afraid? Like, really, what is it? Well, it's this, it's that, and I would go into some sort of excuse, right? It was an excuse. Until finally one day it was like, oh, okay, I get it. I manufacture excuses every single day. It keeps me safe. Look, you're not going to do something unless it's for your benefit, even something that looks bad. Like an excuse, right? If you're coming up with it, I promise you, your mind is not trying to mess you up. Your mind thinks it's protecting you. It's doing it for your benefit. That's why it's so important to confront it. Your mind is not saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull her down." Your mind's not saying that. Your mind is in panic, and your mind's saying, "Oh my God, if I come up with a new excuse, and she doesn't find out about it, we're going to be safe. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to be safe. I don't have to go through the trouble of, feeling uncomfortable, coming after work, and when I want to just watch TV and sit there, or whatever it is, right? I don't have to go and look for paintings, or I don't have to go and think about painting style, or I don't have to, all that stuff. By the way, painting style and all that stuff, you do not need any of that, guys. Please, understand that one. Everybody chases that. You don't need any of that. You just need to be truthful to yourself, and you don't have to go and spend a year in a monastery to be truthful to yourself, or meditate till you start floating. You just need to confront the truth. The truth is very binary. It's very simple. It's not gray. It's very simple. The truth of, not the truth of life. Okay? The world is very gray. I'm talking about the truth of a decision. Okay? Don't get this confused. The truth of a decision is very binary. It's either yes or no. Do you want it or you don't? It's not, well, I want it, but no. It's yes or no. There's no in between. If you want it, there's a price. If you don't, it's totally cool. there's also a price, right? The price of you saying, well, I wanted it at some point, but then, I realized it wasn't for me. Or I realized it is for me, but not in that way. So I have to come into terms, how is it for me? Is it maybe one show a year? Is it maybe a couple of $1,000 a month? Or is it, I don't know, or is it making an insane amount of income? Or is it, whatever the truth for you, right? The truth for you. Is it changing the world with my artwork? Is it impacting my community? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of coming into terms with the reality of it. The reality, the true reality of, man, like, why don't I want to put in the work? And you just face it. You face it. You look at yourself in the eye and you face it and you say to yourself the truth. Like, my truth was, this shit is difficult. I don't want to do it. I started saying that. It took me a couple of days to really realize. One day I woke up and it made sense, but it took me a few days. And I'm not saying it took me a few days to get there. It took me years to get to that realization, what I'm sharing with you. It literally took me years of headaches and anger and disappointment to get to that realization. But after I started facing the truth, it took me just a couple of days to wake up to it and say, oh, I get it. I don't want to do the work. Ah, shit, man, this was so simple. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. This shit is very uncomfortable. Every step of the way, I'm doubting myself. Every step of the way, I think that it's going to go away. Every step of the way, I think that my painting style sucks, right? I painted something better yesterday or the night before. I mean, the year before or whatever, right? Or every step of the way, I will come up with a new excuse, or I will try to come up with one. But at least now I know. Now I know. I didn't know, right? I wasn't aware. I knew, but I wasn't aware. Aware is everything. Right? Emotional intelligence is everything. I wasn't aware that I didn't want to do the work. I wasn't aware that every time things get a little difficult or a little bit uncomfortable, I want to quit. I didn't get it. I made up that I had artist block. I made up that I was tired. I made up that I was facing burnout. I made up that I was, A, B, and C. I made all of that up. I made up excuse after excuse because things got uncomfortable and I wanted to step away from it. Not because I'm a bad person. Not because I'm a horrible person, I'm a lazy person. No, because I was trying to protect myself. That's all. My mind is so intelligent and so beautiful that it was trying to protect me. Oh, Jose, this feels uncomfortable. Let's hide. Dude, my mind is good, and your mind is good too. It just fucks with you because it doesn't know better. That's all. It doesn't know better. It thinks that by keeping you away from uncomfortable situations, it thinks it's protecting you. It doesn't know that it's harming you. It's like a good mommy, My mommy used to tell me, you don't want to go to school today, little Jose? You don't have to go. My mom was a loving person, right? She's, oh my God, he's suffering. He's not feeling well. He ate something bad. Stay home. You don't have to feel uncomfortable, right? You don't have to feel uncomfortable, Jose. You can stay home. Man, I grew up on that. My mom was so loving to me to the point where I became a big baby. I was a grown man and I was still walking away from very uncomfortable situations. Right? This is uncomfortable. I don't have to. My mommy told me that I didn't have to. I don't have to stay here. This doesn't sound like something I want to keep doing. Or if it got to the point where it was monotonous or or it was just the same thing, right? Same thing over and over and over, and it required a very, very difficult or a large, just a lot of responsibility. I don't even know. I'm looking for the words. You know, a big sense of responsibility. Oh no, I can't. No, I can't because I know that if it got difficult, I could walk away. I know that. I've always known that. And I honestly, I don't think I'm the only human being that had that. You know, that grew up with so much love that it became, at some point, it hindered me rather than help me. Right? It felt good. It's like taking a pill every time you have a headache. Right? You don't have to take a pill every time you have a headache. You can if you want, but you don't have to. You can sit with it a little bit, right? And remember what it is to be human, and what it feels like to I mean, if you have a splitting headache, I'm all about it. But if you just have a mild headache, you can sit with it for a little bit and remember what it feels like, right? Like, I don't have to go take an Advil. I can sit with this shit for a little bit. I'm all right. The world is not gonna fall because I'm sitting with this little bit of pain or a little bit of whatever, right? A little bit of discomfort. It's all right. I was reading that Tony Robbins purposely every morning puts himself in a cold, like ice bucket shower. Purposely. He wants to remind his body that they're going to be uncomfortable that day, and that they better brace themselves. That the body better brace itself because it's going to be uncomfortable. I love that. I love that cat does that. You know. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave you with that one because I think I've chatted enough, and I got so much awesome stuff to share with you guys. I've learned so much over the years. A lot of this stuff I kept to myself as I was just hammering away in the art studio, that I never really shared it with anybody. And now I'm going out there and I'm sharing it. I'm putting it here. I'm putting it on YouTube and whatnot. And I just hope that at some point, someone who may be going through something similar of what I've been through and what I continue to go through in different ways can see that and be like, you know what, dude? I might just not want to do it. This cat might be for real. You know, this crazy Mexican might be just telling the truth. And I may be going through the same thing. I may be just not facing the truth. You're not lazy. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're being a perfectly good functioning human being. You are stepping away from uncomfortable situations. It's okay. You're not a big baby. You're not nothing. It's just your mind is trying to help you. Recognize that and move. Keep moving, baby. Keep swimming. Recognize that your mind is protecting you, and tell it, thank you, mind, thank you, but fucking get out of the way, because you're not coming with me. This is not for you. Stay home. I'm going after my dream. All right? Take care, guys. Have a good night. I'm going to keep painting. All right. Adios.